Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. Hopefully, you enjoyed your weekend with your loved ones. Rebecca here, coming to you live for I Reset You for 2022 challenge. So, we are on week 5 of 7 weeks of reset. We started this on January 10th. We've had some of you join us. Others have gone back and watched the 15 minutes of reset later on in the week. If you missed our first 4 weeks, I strongly encourage you to go to my social media page here live on this Facebook at Rebecca Ann Contreras. Like and follow. And we've got our videos, our 15 minutes of reset are posted. Hopefully everybody's been engaging and enjoying the reset challenge. Just a reminder that it's super important to stay the course. Consistency is important in everything that we do in life. And have an accountability buddy. We've been talking about somebody to do it with you, to do life with you, a partner, a buddy, a friend, somebody that can hold you accountable and go that reset journey with you. And then journaling our results and making sure to write down the progress that we've made, and the goals that we're setting, and just going back and reviewing those is super important as well. So today's reset is all about our emotions. We are addressing emotions. We know that emotions can absolutely lead us astray. They're important to harness. They're important to really take control over. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I find that harnessing my emotions is really difficult, especially in the midst of everything hitting the fan. And we know that we have those situations sometimes where we can not be in control of what's going on around us. Situations happens, life happens, friends happen, marriages happen, partnerships happen, and when they do, sometimes they do tend to kind of knock us off our feet or give us that sucker punch that we weren't expecting, and that can control our emotions. So I wanted to just share, so scientifically it is proven that emotions come from the rise in chemicals that are released from our brain. There's a really good read on controlling your emotions, or really understanding your emotions, by Dr. J.C. Wedenberg, and I will post his name on the notes section later. And he says that emotions come from the chemicals that happen in our brain. And sometimes they do start in the brain. Everything starts in the brain. So harnessing and controlling that up front is important. And they can be the negative emotions that come from the toxins or the chemicals called dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. Those are actually positive emotion chemicals that release positive emotions. And then the negative emotion chemicals that are released in our brain, the doctor says, are adrenaline, good or bad, a chemical called cortisol, and those produce negative emotions such as anger, fear, a rush to judgment. And those are the things that really eat our lunch, so to speak, and cause us to react. So I would recommend that read by Dr. JC. I'll post his name in the notes section as well. So I understand, as do you, that we can't always control what happens in our day. We certainly live in a fallen world, and we work with people, and I don't know about you, but I'm a pretty flawed human, and sometimes flawed more than other days. But because we are in this world, and we have the elements that we're working with and the people that sometimes we work with, we have things happen that sometimes will literally derail us. And it all starts in that negative emotion entering our brain. It can also start with the positive things, when you have that positive emotion enter our brain and give us that positive adrenaline flush. But we want to focus today on harnessing our emotions. And I have 5 Ks, the 5 Ks to living every single aspect in control of your emotions. I call them the 5 keys for emotional balance. Number 1, keep centered. No matter what, keep centered. Find your center and find your calm place. Find your quiet place, even in the midst of all hell breaking loose at times. And the fact is, we can't control what happens around us, and sometimes because we are working with others, we certainly can't control others. But this doesn't mean that when others spin or things happen, you have to join in the spin. Or as I refer to it sometimes, in the Tasmanian, you all remember that cartoon, the Tasmanian devil? He would come in and he would just spin out of control and everybody would spin. We can avoid that spin. And examples for me is walking in that peace, renewed, refreshed, recalibrating yourself in the midst of that situation, keeping centered and doing whatever you can to gain control over your emotions in the brain, and learning when to walk away. For me, walking away is a very powerful thing. When I walk away, if I see a situation and I know that it's about to go south, south of the border, I sometimes will do a timeout and say, I think I'm going to walk away right now, because if I stay in this situation, I'm going to lose my own emotional control. And so learning to walk away is super healthy. It doesn't mean you're a coward. It doesn't mean you're running away, but just learning to walk away is a healthy thing, so that you can come back when things cool down and you deal with it in a calibrated way. The second K and key is keep calm. When you respond in a calm way, when somebody is losing their emotions, it really centers the environment of what you're dealing with. And we can't control other situations, but we can control us. And so for me, I am learning this year in 2022, when the shit hits the fan, so to speak, and many times it does, I am learning to stay calm, keep calm. And even say to that individual or in that situation, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a pause and I'm going to walk away, because in order for me to gain control over my emotions, I have to be centered myself, and I'm going to keep calm. When we learn to keep calm, even if we're angry, even if we're upset, even if we're hurt, but we keep calm, it'll really recalibrate your body, and really you'll respond in a totally different way. The third K and the third key is keep focused. Focused throughout your day. Do not lose your center of focus. It's important for us to keep focused of the situation, to keep focused in the circumstance, and to keep focused on what our goal is in that day. If we've woken up and we've decided we're going to have a positive day today, no matter what hits or what intervenes, we're not going to allow it to allow us to go negative. Then keep focused on that goal and that positivity. Keep focused on what you have to accomplish. If you're in a business, you're in a career, you're in the workplace with somebody, and everything is unraveled, then keep focused on the goal of that day. And a synonym for control is using restrain. And so, when you're the fourth key, keep releasing control. Keep releasing control, not holding that control, but releasing that control. Because when we release that control over situations that we know are going to be handled in a negative way, and we release it, and we release that individual, or release that circumstance, it really is a very powerful thing. And so, we all have individuals in our life that operate in manipulation and control. And sometimes I have actually clients like that, sometimes they're masters at trying to interfere and manipulate and control the situation. And it's difficult as a consultant or as a team member to not allow that control to overshadow the situation. And so if you just release control and say, this individual wants to control right now, and I'm not going to get into a fighting battle with the individual. I'm going to just release that control and just let the cards lie where they lie and walk away. Emotional manipulation and controlling the situation can be debilitating to you as an individual. And sometimes when we stop and we recognize that situation is out of control, we can actually own our own management of that emotion by saying, I refuse to operate in control, and walk away. The last fifth K or key is keep yourself refreshed. Find your place of refreshing. Find your place of emotional balance. It maybe you don't have emotional balance that particular situation, but if you remove yourself from the situation, if you're in the middle of a meeting and you can't just get up and walk out, then just in your brain, get yourself centered, get yourself calmed down, and then let the meeting finish and walk away. But keep refreshed. Find a way to refresh. For me, it's about my meditation, my prayers, sometimes, listening to some positive music, working out, going outside, getting myself in my closet and shutting the door if I am in a situation where I'm getting angry or feel my emotions stirring. Just getting in that place where you can keep refreshed. Get into a place where you find an oasis of peace. Don't let anybody in your emotional balance steal your peace, because your peace determines how things will flow through that day, even in a chaotic situation. So those are the 5 Ks for emotional health and balance. We started with keep centered, K number 1, keep calm, K number 2, keep focused, K number 3, keep releasing control, K number 4, and lastly, keep yourself in a place of refreshing so that you are feeling energized and renewed. And I will tell you, I am not the kind of person that likes to live fake. For those of you who know me, I'm a real authentic, raw, transparent individual, and sometimes I do lose my my emotions. Sometimes I get hurt. Sometimes I get angry, and I'll that second, lose control over an emotion that that I control. And I come back if you do that, when you do that, not if you do that, when you do that, you come back to a place and you recognize, whether it's with an individual, hey, listen, I think I was a little harsh on you, or, I think I lost my temper there, or I think I went toxic and negative. Will you forgive me for that? And let's just start afresh. Let's start over. We can start over in our relationships. Whatever relationship we're in, we can center ourselves, and we have control over our own emotion. As Dr. Caroline Leaf often says, you cannot control that emotion or that thought entering your brain, but you certainly can control how you manage that emotion, how you manage that situation. We are in control of our life. We are in control of our responses, nobody else. And we have to stop this blame shifting going on. Well, I'm like this because my mother didn't bring me up right, or I'm like this because I'm married to an abusive person, or I'm like this because so-and-so hurt me. We just have to stop making excuses. Put that stake in the ground and let's own and control our emotions and get into a place of emotional health. So I'm excited to share this principle with me today. It's been instrumental in my growth. And I love being able to take control of my emotions. There's so much power in it. As many of you see, I've got Wonder Woman happening back here. And the reason I keep her right by my desk is I want people to know that my goal is to be an overcomer. And no, I'm not Wonder Woman, but there is a power to her stance. And I'm going to take that power and own my own future and own my own emotional health for 2022. So thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you've been able to get some nuggets around these 5 keys that I share, or 5 Ks. I want you to join me Monday. It is Love Day, February 14th. I'm actually going to be resetting relationships. My husband David will be with me. We will be talking about reset relationships. You won't want to miss it. Bring your partner, bring your significant other, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever is the love of your life. Bring them to the live and let's reset relationships. So 1 week from today, same place, same time, 12:30 p.m. Central. You will not want to miss the Love Day Reset. We have 3 weeks left to go. We've got next Monday, we have February 21st. And then February 28th, we will be doing a wrap up for our reset. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Please share it out if you do. And remember, stay in control of your emotional health, because you and only you own it. Have a blessed day.